Hey, I'm Carissa and this is Carissa's Garden. Welcome back. I'm going to do my next flush of seed starting. So last time I did foxglove and eucalyptus and a few others, snapdragons, and now I am 10 weeks before my last frost date. I garden here in south central BC, Canada, zone 4B. So yeah, 10 weeks there's quite a lot to do. So I'll just go through what I'm doing. In another video I opened up an order that included my soil blocker, which was my first time using it, and this will be my second. So yeah, I'm really excited to start these off. Here's what I've got. So the soil blocker I'll be using is the 20 units that are 3/4 of an inch. I've used them before, like I said, just once before, and they seem to fit really well in this style of a container. I just picked up some clearance pans, just so that they would be reusable from year to year, so they wouldn't be the breakable plastic. So the types I will be doing today are Bells of Ireland, 2 types of Black-Eyed Susan, I think Denver Daisy and Cherry Brandy, and then 2 types of Yarrow. The one Yarrow I got is Summer Berries from Floret, which is 3 different types: raspberry, coral, blush, rose, and buttercream. And then this one I found, I couldn't resist. It was at a hardware store, I think, or I don't know where it was. I've bought a ton of seeds in the last few weeks. So this is just the wildflower variety of Yarrow that does grow natively in our area, but I want my own and I don't want to have to forage for it. So that'll go into this tray, and I will do as much as I can fit in here. I will be succession planting, so even if a packet has 50 or 100 seeds, I'll probably do about half, I think. See how that goes. And then in my last container here I have Iceland Poppy, the sherbet mix, which look beautiful. Hollyhock, which is a perennial in our zone, and this is the Chatters double mix. They look beautiful. And then this is a foliage. So this is anise hyssop, which has that licorice flavor. So it is used in salads, it looks like, or potpourris, soups, fruit salads, but I will be using it, well, I might use it a little bit for that, but I will use it as foliage if it works. Apparently this is a good one for foliage, so I hope it is. So anyway, that is just how I'm going to separate each one. I believe the only ones that don't want heat, do you know what, I mixed it up a little bit. So I am going to be divvying them out, or combining them for their light requirements and heat and cold requirements as well. So this mixture wants light to germinate and warmth. So this will go under the seed mat and under the lights. Yarrow also wants warmth and light to germinate. And then anise hyssop is also, yeah, so do you know what? I'm just going to plug it in between here, I think. I'm not sure. I might change my mind. I might stick it in here and kind of squish it in with the Rudbeckia, the Black-Eyed Susan, because I think I want a lot of Yarrow. I think it'll be a really good filler. Plus it's a perennial, so I think I'm going to want as many as I can get out of these, because I don't think I'm going to succession plant the Yarrow. I think I'm just going to go for it. If you can't tell, I'm a beginner, so this is a bit of an adventure. At least this first year it'll be. Just kind of seeing how things go, what I need. The tricky thing is I'm pretty confident in my growing skills, but my selling skills are to be determined. So relying on some of the perennials like a Yarrow will be beneficial, just because I don't have a clientele, right? Like, I don't have people who know about me. This is my first year, so we'll see what the market is like in my area, and otherwise in future years I will have some nice perennials to pick from once my clientele does hopefully grow. Yeah, and then the last two, the Hollyhock and the Iceland Poppy, they want cold. Yeah, they want cold but light. So they won't go under my seed or on my seed mat, the heating mat, which is good because I only have one. I did order, I think, a pack of two more heating mats because it seems like most of them do prefer it. But anyway, right now it's valuable. So I just have the 2 trays that will fit on my one heating mat, and this one wants cold, so it's perfect. And I have more than enough space under my lights, which I'm staring at right here. So yeah, this is the plan for today. I do want to start some tomatoes for the veggie garden as well, but we'll see how much I get through. So yeah, I'm going to do some soil blocking, and then I will catch up with you when they're all filled with soil blocks. All right, I've filled up one of my pans. So I have 9, I guess it's 3 by 3 of the 20 unit blocker soil blocks. So that's 180, and that is tons. And now that I've had some experience growing with them, it's quite a relief to know that they will grow in such a small spot, because most of these seeds that you start, 10, 12 weeks from your last frost, they do grow slowly, which is why they need such a long time to germinate. So yeah, it eases my fears of trying something new now that I've done it once before. So yeah, I guess it's not new anymore. So I'll continue and do my other trays. So I just thought I would try showing you one of the fails. Here is one. I think I'm noticing my soil mix has dried out too much, and it just crumbled. So instead of just erasing the mistake, I thought I would show you, because this is what gardening's about. Trial and error, or like I've seen online, trowel and error if you're a gardener. So yeah, I will just add a little bit more water, and then my soil mix should be good to go and not so crumbly. All right, I have blocked all my soil, if you will. So I did 180 per tray, which is 540, which is so much. It just blows my mind how much you can fit in these. And yes, there's a little bit more work as they grow on and you need to transplant them. But in my opinion, this is the way to go. And like I said before, when I was soil blocking, I noticed that my soil had dried out, or maybe it just originally wasn't as dry as it should have been when I started. So this was my first tray, and you can see it is very crumbly still. They aren't perfect squares. They don't hold their form quite as well. And this is fine, I think. I'll just have to keep an eye on it and make sure that they don't dry out. But this was the tray where I realized my mistake, and they started to crumble. So I did add some water in between these, and it was no big deal. But now you can see how crisp the corners are in these blocks, and they take the form much easier, and they hold together a lot easier as well. And then this was my last tray. I'll show you because I'm proud. And there it is. So I have it's off camera a bit, you can kind of see, but I've kind of sectioned out what I'm going to put with what, because like I said, 2 varieties do not want the heat, or maybe can tolerate no heat, but then 2 trays will need to go under or on top of my seed heating mat. So yeah, I will plug in the seeds and I will let you know what I did with what. All right, there's my first one. That was Rudbeckia Cherry Brandy, and I did 3 units of it, so 60. I believe the seed packet said 50 and it came with 60. And then I also remembered that these are more late summer, early fall bloomers, so I didn't see the benefit in succession planting them. So yeah, like I said, I only had 50 or 60 and that filled up my 60 unit area. So I think that's fine. I'm pretty sure they just bloom in the fall. I'm gonna double check that though. Or end of summer. Yeah, the days to maturity is quite a long ways out, over 100 days. So I'm pretty sure they'll bloom later in the year. So succession planting would still be beneficial to get kind of 2 flushes later in the year, but it's my first year and I'm gonna take it easy. Okay, my next one I will do another Rudbeckia, the Black-Eyed Susan Denver Daisy. This one is the more typical Rudbeckia coloring, so like the orangey yellow. The other one was Cherry Brandy, so if you can picture that, kind of a burgundy red. This one looks like it's about the same amount, so I will probably fill up the middle 3 units and be good to go. And I pre-wrote my markers on there, and I think I described this in previous videos, but what helps me remember what I've done is I put the tag with the words on facing the seeds that I'm talking about. So this is Denver Daisy. Nope, this is Cherry Brandy. I would have known if I saw it. And then this will be Denver Daisy. All right, I'm going to finish up all these seeds and then maybe I'll show you what the rest of them are doing. The seeds I started a few weeks ago. Pretty proud at how they look, so yeah. All right, all my seed trays are done, and I thought I would just give you a look-see into what I have started and how they're doing so far. The vermiculite I think has been a game changer. Plus I think I've learned a little bit more about seed starting, like taking off the humidity tray once most of them have germinated, bottom watering and that type of thing. So yeah, I've definitely learned from previous year's mistakes. But yeah, the vermiculite is definitely helping too with too much moisture and just keeping away the mold that tends to grow on these seedling trays. Yeah, so here I will show you what it looks like. Now here we have my lace flower. I think you can see, there they are. I have 2 different types, lacy blue and lacy pink. The lacy blue has not seemed to sprout as fast as the pink, which is fine. And then I have echinacea here at the back. And I would say the germination rate is pretty good. These ones didn't need light to germinate, so I just took them out from underneath, and you can still see some of the pelleted seeds that haven't germinated. But I just thought it was too risky to leave them in the dark for much longer when so many had germinated, as you can see. Yeah, so that is tray 1. And here I'm very proud of. This is my butterfly milkweed, and my germination rate on it is incredible. This is in the seed trays, as you can see, so this was before I got my soil blocker. And I think it'll be fine. Yeah, so there's quite a few of those. And then at the back here I have eucalyptus. I think this tall one here is maybe a butterfly weed here, and it's actually quite leggy, so I might get rid of it. I did raise them up. I did raise my trays up, as you can see, to get closer to my shop lights. I did look online, and because they are 6,500 Ks, I thought they would be powerful enough to not get leggy. But you know what? It doesn't hurt, and I had these extra trays for them to sit on. So they might be powerful enough, but it doesn't hurt that they're this close also, because they are LED and they're not too warm at all. They're not even warm at all. Anyway, so yeah, I think that is a butterfly milkweed back there, the tall one. But all the other small, shorter ones are my eucalyptus silver dollar, which I'm very excited about. That'll be a beautiful filler. And then here I had some overflow of the lace flower, and they don't look like they're doing much, but they are there. I hope you can see them. And then next, what do I have? Ooh, one that I can't really pronounce, Pyrithium giant. Robinson giant, actually. They just look like a big daisy, a pink one, and they haven't germinated. But the reason why I took off the humidity tray is because all of my snapdragons have. And they look very, very good, if I do say so myself. All right, last tray that I started before. These are Delphinium Pacific Giants, and not very many of them have germinated. I'm wondering if it was because I did let them dry out a little bit too much. But there's a couple, and I think delphiniums are harder to germinate, so we'll see. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so far, which isn't a failure in my book. And then last I have my foxglove. And I think it looks quite well as well. Quite well as well, if you know what I mean. Now this one isn't very close to the lights, but I haven't noticed a sign of legginess. They don't seem to be reaching at all, so I'm quite content to leave them where they are and see what happens. Yeah, there's quite a few of those ones. And then here are my new trays. So this is my heat mat right here, and I fit 2 of the plastic trays on there. So they are all in. You can't really see much because some of the seeds are quite tiny, like the poppy, so not much to see. I still have to add vermiculite. Oh, you can see the Bells of Ireland seeds there. Quite orderly in their home. You can see them. And then last but not least, on my bottom shelf, I have Hollyhock and Iceland Poppy. I did take out some of the soil blocks at the end because I ran out of seeds, so that's fine. And this is these are the 2 varieties that don't need the heat mat. So they're just here under the lights by themselves. Yeah, I will add vermiculite to these. The only one I didn't get to was the anise hyssop. So I will do that whenever I get a chance. And the last thing I was going to show you was my Dahlia tubers that we potted up. There is a shoot. And this was the Lindsay Michelle variety, which I think was my daughter's, and she asked me not to cut it because you can propagate this by cutting. And then here are the other ones. I don't see... Do you know what? I do. Do you see that purple? There's some growth. That is so exciting. Beautiful. And that was the Ferncliff Illusion. I don't even remember what that was. And then here's another one. Oh! That's what you get for poking around. There's some new growth. Fairway Spur. Hope you can see that. That's beautiful. And this, I'm not sure if that's a weed. It really doesn't look like a dahlia. But you can see a bit of green there, which gets your hopes up, but I don't think it's anything. I don't see anything on this one, but you know what? I just noticed these 2. So this one might be next, and that was the Wizard of Oz type. Yeah, so this one is definitely in the lead. Good job, Lindsay Michelle. And that's about that. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.